The Mutant Girl. It's a thing. It's an old thing. 2 seasons, 22 collective episodes, nearly 4.5+ hours of watch time, 6,323 collective views, 1 spin-off, 3 crossovers with other properties in the same fictional universe, and 1 current world record for the longest running gacha series of all time. But what exactly is The Mutant Girl? What does it consist of, and why do I want to put it forward for this assessment? Well, first off, The Mutant Girl is a story about Morwenna May, a 12-year-old girl who inexplicably grew a dragon tail as a younger child, and has been living with the inconvenience and stigma of this ever since. Due to personal reasons, she transfers schools hoping for things to be different this time. The main themes of the show are body issues and acceptance, be that of oneself or of others as a friend and or romantic partner. At the time, the gacha community was producing story after story about people with one core difference that everyone would mock. This was usually something like heterochromia, or a facial scar, or no pupils, subtle stuff. Nah, my brain said, remember that one time I made a dragon girl? Make it all about her! But I didn't just stop at giving the eponymous mutant girl a non-adorable trait, as one critic referred to it as. The whole show steered into more subversions of tropes in 2019 gacha shows. For example, much like Disney, one parent was usually dead. Unlike Disney, the alive parent was always abusive, but never three-dimensional enough to make a good statement about this. The main character has 1 or 0 friends, and almost nothing ever goes in their favor. There's other things, like bullies so one-dimensional they put Stephen King's TV adaptations to shame, and very occasional themes that extend to trigger warnings that a 5-minute presentation could not and should not get into. The Mutant Girl subverts all of that. Both parents are alive and supportive, Morwenna develops several close friendships and even a romance eventually, and several things can and do go right for her as well as wrong, giving her something to lose when the antagonists come for her. And yes, I did keep the bully as a stereotypical spoiled brat, but she quickly steered into more of a manipulator than just a big tall brawler with a popularity complex and a name to match. All of that sounds amazing, right? Well, the answer is an astounding kind of. While the show has stayed alive for 3 years, minus a week, through its intense cult following and dedicated team, it never reached the audience Gacha Life or Gacha Club, the 2 game engines it's produced on, could promise. There's a variety of reasons why. Back when it premiered in March 2019, the basic model for promoting a voice-acted gacha series did not exist. There was no voice-acting community at the time relating to gacha on YouTube. Anything original was a gamble whether it would do well, and more so on a channel hitherto dedicated to other things. Also, if one checks back at the original and looks at it from an editing perspective,
they have all YouTubers on Dionysus.
It's not very good. So why does it survive? What makes the relative few people who see it come back every time? Its story. In this class, I've used my knowledge of editing and technology to my advantage multiple times. But it did not start out this way, clearly. The only skill I had at the start of the series was writing. People look past the flaws and issues because they enjoy the story. In fact, once I realized how the series was being rewatched entirely every time a new episode came out, I added mystery, a twist, and a more complex antagonist motivation to drive investment even more. And it worked! If there's one thing that really fascinates me in media is how a series, be that on TV, the big screen, books, comics, or especially the internet, can run for years or even decades, and how they change for better or worse based on the world around them and their audience. The Mutant Girl has allowed me to explore that, at the same time providing one final subversion for a gacha show, that it must end as quickly as it came and its popularity must fade also as quickly as it came. Which is why I intend to submit the remakes of the first 3 episodes as my assessed digital portfolio. Why? Because A, if I submit any other part, you need to watch potential hours of other stuff to fully understand how the characters got to where they are, and B, they fully symbolize everything the Mutant Girl stands for. Much like a Pokemon trainer will tell you, it's all about getting stronger and evolving. And my team, because yes, the series allowed me to get a team, and I have been hard at work fixing all of the haunting errors of the past. I intend to recognize and rectify my failures of the past, to keep making the show that got me to where I am today. Is it a little bit of a cop-out? Perhaps. Can I get 1,500 words of written reflection out of it? Well, I've talked for this amount of time about it, so absolutely. If not, I don't know, I'll do another podcast about gacha. You all seem to enjoy my last demo of one. But this! I want to do this! Please. It'll be good, I promise. I want to keep evolving. Oh, and if you want to see the remake premiere on YouTube, then join me on March 17th or subscribe to the channel to be notified